Today we'll be reading The Fall of the Sith Empire, a recording from Kla, from Jedi vs. Sith, The Essential Guide to the Force, by Ryder Windham. The Fall of the Sith Empire, author Kla. Once, the Sith Empire ruled over 120 habitable worlds across an expansive area of the Outer Rim. Founded by a relatively small group of exiled Dark Jedi who arrived in Sith space without weapons and in a single starship, this empire was a testament to the greatness of the ancient Sith Lords. Unfortunately, less than 2,000 years after it began, the Sith Empire was brought to ruin because of a single Sith Lord's impatience. The tale begins with the death of Marka Ragnos. A half-breed Sith and warlord descended from the original Jedi exiles, Ragnos had tremendous power and a frightening grasp of the dark side of the Force. Through a series of short, ruthless campaigns against his enemies, he had risen to prominence, claiming the exalted title, Dark Lord of the Sith. Ragnos maintained dominance by pitting his detractors against one another, manipulating them into challenging him, or simply assassinating them. During his reign, he was one of the few Sith alive who knew of the Republic and its defenders, the Jedi Order. Feared, admired, and obeyed, he ruled the Sith Empire for more than a century. The cause of his death remains unknown, but may have been the result of old age. Only minutes after Ragnos' corpse was interred within a great tomb, two Sith Lords began vying for the title of Dark Lord. Ludo Kresh, a half-breed Sith who was determined to maintain the empire that Marka Ragnos had built, and the more ambitious Naga Sato, who claimed a pure-blood lineage to the Jedi exiles and wanted to expand the Sith Empire. So great was their animosity that it roused the spirit of Marka Ragnos, who informed the antagonists of their ancient ties to the Republic and the Jedi. He urged them to choose their battles wisely, as the fate of the Sith Empire hung in the balance. Evidently, after Ragnos' spirit faded away, Ludo Kresh offered to make peace with Sato, but Sato refused to consider Kresh anything other than his sworn enemy. If Marka Ragnos, or more precisely his spirit, knew exactly what was in store for Kresh and Sato, he did not say. By all accounts, Ragnos was as shrewd as he was cunning, and he must have recognized the possibility that the Jedi remained as strong as they had been when they defeated his ancestors. We may never know whether Ragnos had believed the Sith were not yet ready to expand toward Republic space and enter into a protracted war against the Jedi, or if he hoped Kresh and Sato might resolve their differences without bloodshed. But we do know what happened next. A pair of hyperspace explorers from the Republic blundered upon Korriban. Oblivious of Sith history, they claimed they came in peace and were interested in establishing a trade relationship. Ludo Kresh suspected the alleged explorers were precursors to an invasion and wanted to kill them at once, but Naga Sato insisted that the pair be interrogated, as they might lead the Sith Lords to new worlds to conquer. And there was the fundamental difference between Kresh and Sato. Where Kresh was cautious and saw potential danger, Sato was determined and saw opportunity. Subsequently, the Sith Lords became divided into factions devoted respectively to Kresh and Sato. Sato allowed one of the explorers to flee so that he could track the interloper back to Republic space, and used his dark side powers to create the illusion of an even more enormous army for the Sith than actually existed. Sato's eventual assault on Republic space instigated the Great Hyperspace War. Only a few details of this war are important. The Jedi and the Republic repelled Naga Sato's invasion. Sato returned to Sith space only to be confronted by Kresh's armada. Sato killed Kresh, but the Republic fleet had followed Sato to Sith space and forced him to flee. Defeated by the Republic and banished by Kresh's survivors, Sato took refuge on the fourth moon in the Yavin system, where he commanded his Massassi warriors to build a series of great temples. There, Sato would die, never forgetting the empire he had lost. When I first learned of Naga Sato's role in the fall of the Sith Empire, all I could think of was how events might have unfolded differently had Sato been less brash. Some Sith scholars have faulted Kresh for his lack of daring and unwillingness to endorse and support Sato's schemes of conquest, but I am quick to slap these scholars down. Although I renounced the Jedi Order for the Sith, I gained much from Jedi patience exercises and maintain that every Sith could benefit from such discipline. Seize the day, and you have the day. But wait for the right day to seize, and you will seize entire lifetimes. I hope you've enjoyed this reading of The Fall of the Sith Empire, a recording from Kla.